What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're in my kitchen again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys are amazing. You come back every single week and I love you guys. So thank you for returning. This week, we're gonna talk about one of the biggest topics in college lacrosse around this time of year, the Tewaaraton race. So we're about halfway through the regular season for college lacrosse. The Tewaaraton is essentially the Heisman given to the best female and male player each year at the end of the season, at the end of May. So now that we're about halfway through, we're gonna dive on in and I'm gonna give you my top 5 right now for who I see being chosen as the top 5 in May. A lot happens for between now and then. Different players can step up, but right now these are the top 5, in my opinion, who are making their names known, putting their teams in the best place to succeed, and also making a name for themselves. Let's see who I got. So first and foremost, obviously my front runner right now is Sam Apuzzo. She won it as a junior last year, a low attacker for BC. She's amazing. She's amazing. I have fortunate enough to have played with her at US a couple of times. She's a really creative, fun player to play with and an amazing and fun player to watch. Really tricky around the crease, can play up top or behind, has a great cast of players around her that she works with really well, can do it herself, but also is totally okay with sharing the ball and letting her teammates share in the glory, which that's when you know you have an awesome teammate. Right now, at this point, she has 70 points, 53 goals, 17 assists, including season highs of 10 points each against Dartmouth and Navy, 8 goals against Navy, and then she also had 12 draw controls as her season high total against Northwestern, which is a team that loves to win the draw. They've coined the term, I think it's win the draw, rule the world. So she is falling right back into place where she was last year. 97 draw controls on the season, 9 points against Syracuse, 7 points against USC. So her season ties are off the charts. She's a great player to play with. Her coaches and teammates can't say nice enough things about her. So regardless of whether she wins or not, she's consistently loved by her teammates and the players and the people that watch her and her fans. So I think she's a great player and a great person, but she's definitely my front runner for Tewaaraton this year. However, Sam is not the only BC, I'm slipping, there we go. Sam is not the only BC player on my top 5. Another US teammate of mine and a midfielder, Dempsey Arsenal, is also in my top 5 for Tewaaraton at this point in the season. Dempsey is one of the fastest players I've ever seen and has an extreme motor. She never gets tired, never stops running fast, can play at the same speed at minute 59 as she did at minute 1. So she's a great teammate to have. And she adds a little bit of variety to a very attack-heavy offense for BC with Sam Apuzzo, Kenzie Kent. She is able to continue their dominance by her ability to attack from the top side, to attack kind of from the top of the 8 down. She has 31 goals this year, 12 assists, 16 ground balls, 50 draw controls, 5 cost turnovers. So she's all over the field. She's a true two-way midi, plays both offense and defense, and is in one of the toughest leagues in the country, who consistently plays top level teams week in and week out. She had 6 draw controls against North Carolina, another team that really focuses on the draw and the possession game, and 7 goals versus Northwestern. So she had a breakout game against them, and I'm sure we will continue to see more from her. So she is someone who, especially as we get into the ACC tournament, NCAA tournament, a lot of the focus will be on how to stop Sam and Kenzie. I think she has the ability to come in and have some big games for BC, not that she hasn't done that already. So she is another one who is really making a stamp for herself and helping BC be successful and still remain the #1 team in the country. Moving on, we're gonna go to a UNC player, Jamie Ortega. She's an attacker, a sophomore attacker for the Tar Heels. She has had a really, really successful year, 41 goals, 12 assists. She adds a lot of variety to the UNC attack because she is a lefty. So she's able to kind of slip right in, catch and shoot, but also has the ability to dodge and work well with her teammates. She's had some breakout games. She had 7 goals and 3 assists against Northwestern, a really very strong opponent this year, and she made it look very, very simple. She's someone who's pretty tricky, who likes to kind of get herself open on the back door, always constantly moving, but also has the ability to feed and dodge. So she's someone who has really impressed me kind of watching this year, and someone who I think, again, if she has a big ACC tournament and NCAA run, could make a name for herself and slip right into this Tewaaraton top 5. Number 4 on the list, another attacker, Emily Harris-Chuck. I can never spell her last name correctly, but she is someone who has stepped into a huge role on this Cuse team, a Cuse team that struggled last year without, you know, some of their bigger names. She has done incredibly well. She's clearly the leader on that attacking unit. Takes the draw as well, so similar to Kayla Trainer, how she took the draw and then would go play behind for the on attack. Emily Harris-Chuck is doing the same thing. She has 44 goals, 11 assists, 38 draw controls. So she, again, from that midfield and to the end line, she's all over that offensive set. If you watch Cuse play, a lot of the plays come from her. A lot of eyes are drawn to her, which then opens up her teammates. She does a great job of attacking and deciding whether she's going to hold on to the ball or move the ball, find the next person. She's a really unselfish player, very tricky, very typical Cuse, very great stick work and stick handling, has the ability to shoot from far out or do a nice finesse shot in close. She's averaging 2 to 7 points a game this year. So she scored or had a point in every single game, clearly making a difference for, I think, Cuse's number 3 or 4, depending what poll you look at. So she's a huge difference maker for them, keeping them in this fight for a national title. And we'll have what I anticipate as a very big ACC and NCAA tournament run. And last but not least, rounding out my top 5 is Megan Taylor. So she is a goalie. She's the goalie for the University of Maryland, was a goalie my senior year as a freshman. She started as a freshman. She right now has a .594 save percentage average. That means that 60% of the shots she's seeing, essentially, she is saving, which is unreal. She had 14 saves against UNC, 12 against Florida, 12 against Cuse, 13 against Penn, and 14 against Princeton. So those are all highly ranked teams when they played. And she has been in double digits every time. She's been a huge reason why the Terps have been successful. The Terps defense is doing a great job of giving her the shot she wants to see, but Megan Taylor is doing a phenomenal job of seeing the ball and stopping the ball. Knock on wood, I hope I don't jinx her with this. Put on top that she's just an awesome player and an awesome teammate. Somebody that the Terps have really rallied behind. She's become the anchor of that defense, confident, loud, happy, a calming force back there, and she's kicking butt. So I think, you know, the Tewaaraton is a chance where it's not just about offensive prowess and it's not just about putting the ball in the back of the net. It's about, you know, honoring the players of their positions who do the best that they do. And right now I think Megan Taylor is doing the best out of the goalies in the NCAA. She's making a huge difference for Maryland. Again, number 2, undefeated as of right now. I think they're 12-0. She's making a difference, and I think it would be really cool to see a goalie or a defender get honored in that way for making a difference for their team. So she is rounding out my top 5. All right, guys, so Sam Apuzzo, my front runner, in the hunt, Jamie Ortega, Emily Harris-Chuck, Dempsey Arsenal, Megan Taylor. I think it's gonna be really exciting to see what happens, what ends up being that top 5, who ultimately wins at Tewaaraton. But so much lacrosse has to be played before any decisions are made. So looking forward to watching an incredible second half of the season. I'll come back to you guys kind of right before the Tewaaraton is announced to give you my updated final 5. And then once we get into the Tewaaraton race, we'll figure out who wins. But that's my opinion. Comment below with who you think should win. Bye.